Good day, Ruskin enjoyers. Hope you're right, 'cause it's time for the abnormal barders. Every single skin is abnormal this week, except the small T box. Okay, that's the only regular skin for this week. Now, if you don't fully understand what abnormals are, if you don't understand my terminology when I say abnormals and regular skin, if you need some help, consider looking in the description. There's 2 videos listed at the very top. The very first video is a 60-second short video which will quickly showcase to you that abnormal skins, they become marketable before the roster even rotates. Gives us a nice early insight into figuring out whether these skins actually have demand. So what we'll do is, because we know exactly when the abnormals are going to become marketable, which will be in about 50 minutes from now, we're going to sit down, figure out prices for all these skins, and then of course, when it's time for the abnormals, we'll race to put the barders down, and then afterwards, we'll look and see how much each of the skins have, like how many barders they have, how high does the price go, and then we'll question, do we actually want to jump in and purchase some of the skins straight from the rust store? And then of course, with the only skin this week that's a regular skin, this right here will only become marketable when the roster rotates tomorrow. So every other skin, we can get an early insight, figure out if they're actually going to retain their value. We'll question if it's like, it's going to be a good idea to jump in and make a nice investment if we purchase the skins directly. So, cool. Shall we get started then? Let's start talking about all the skins, and then afterwards we'll talk about the small T box. We'll keep you informed of what potentially could be accepted tomorrow in tomorrow's rust store. Yeah, let's just roll in. No Mercy HMLMG, the first ever handmade LMG skin to be accepted into rust. And well, I was kind of surprised. I was expecting 2 in the same rust store, because of course this was the November Force Wipe rust store. Handmade LMGs first became skinnable here, but only 1. Got 2 bed skins for crying out loud. So what's going on? I will point this out. We haven't seen that many of them being submitted. I get the feeling it might be pretty hard for the skin creators to make skins for them. Either way, tomorrow I am expecting at least 1 of them to be accepted again. I'm expecting every single rust store this month that we're going to see more and more handmade LMG skins being accepted. It's concerning because that No Mercy handmade LMG did 33,000 subscribers. Now, in terms of the estimates, every single week I'm looking at all the skins with their sales. I looked at that on Saturday and I thought, you know what? That's going to probably do between 30 to 35,000 subscribers. Well, guess what? I was correct. So, okay, interesting. Is that a good thing? Not really. It's a lot of sales, and with more skins expected to be accepted after this, we could have some problems. When it comes to brand new skinnables, the first few skins that are usually accepted tend to sell pretty absurdly. But then after that, more and more skins are likely to be accepted, and suddenly this is no longer going to be so special anymore. We saw the bed skins. If we could just quickly switch over to here, look at this. The first ever bed skins to be accepted into rust. Tropical bed, cargo heli bed, down 45, down 53. Oh dear, oh dear. Now you might say, oh, but like neon bed's done right. Horror bed's done right. Yeah, we'll give it time. More bed skins are likely to be accepted because we just keep seeing more and more and more of them being submitted. It's ridiculous. So anyway, handmade LMG on the workshop right now. There's like 14 options available. I mean, I guess there's 13 now because you're accepted. Not too many, but we are still expecting at least 1 to be accepted every single rust store for this month. So, unfortunately, you're priced at $3. You are a No Mercy skin, but like there's tons of them already, and it's not like they're all holding up, not like lovely. So, yeah, I am concerned. I've even questioned my chat. How often do we even use a handmade LMG? Not enough, apparently. So, yeah, in regards to the No Mercy handmade LMG, I think I'm only going to do 70 cents to $1. I don't fully trust it. So, yeah. UFO Abduction Furnace. A very interesting transparent design. We saw this being accepted like 2 weeks after we saw the Ghost Furnace being accepted. Pretty funny. But I have to address this. I've seen another furnace that has been submitted very recently that also has transparency. We're starting to see this a whole lot more now. Skin creators are noticing that transparent furnaces are selling a lot. And I'm pretty sure they want to make lovely profit. So this right here, 31,000 subscribers, $3 a piece, and yet still 31,000 subscribers. It's an amazing look and design. I'm not surprised people want it, but problems will arise if we keep seeing more and more and more interesting transparent furnace designs being produced. So if we could just quickly switch the the workshop, sorry. As you can see, a very cool, awesome looking approach. But then we look at the recent furnace skins that are submitted, and oh, hang on a minute, what's this? It is the fractal furnace produced by Mr. Legacy, and yeah, that has a lot of transparency right there. We're starting to see even more creative approaches. What happens if that were to be accepted? You understand the issue. If we keep seeing more and more of things like this, I will not be surprised in the slightest if the UFO furnace struggles and suffers. But if we do not see another transparent furnace for a very long time, I can't help but assume that'll work out very nicely. It has sold a lot for a reason. People like it. We've also noticed a pretty interesting collection continuation. As you can see over here, with the recent Rust Workshop skin checks for November 11, 2025, I scroll down. There's a sheet metal door with an absolutely absurd amount of transparency on the bottom. Here it is. An obvious collection continuation to our furnace. But as you'll notice, do you see that right there? Yeah, that's transparency. What? Yep. Huh. Let me tell you this. If that was to be accepted tomorrow, I think I might have to go get a mortgage just so I can buy tons of them. So, yeah, that's pretty absurd, yeah. If that sheet metal door were to be accepted, that very likely would be spiking the price ever so nicely. But I'm still very much concerned about the overall sales. So let's also mention this. Here's every single furnace that's been accepted. And then, of course, let's go ahead and just see which ones have like the most subscribers. And too much surprise is not even like the top 5. 31,000 subscribers, not even top 5. Well, there you go. This Ghost Furnace, 70,000 plus subscribers. Let's see if that still manages to hold. And you got some of these other skins here. Almost 50,000 subscribers, 40,000 plus subscribers, 40,000 plus subscribers, 37,000 plus subscribers, down 49, down 52, down 27, down 66. Ugh. Problematic, yes. So I am questioning it, but I'm also not surprised people have been buying it because it does look really, really cool. Is it always going to be unique and interesting? Or, unfortunately, will we see other things like it and then suddenly it's not so special anymore? We'll find out. So for the UFO Abduction Furnace, I'm going to offer between $1 to $1.50. Yeah, that's how I'm going to approach it. Sinotype wood large box. So, yeah, for a while, we've had some concerns with the Sinotype collection. We had some breaks. So if I could quickly switch back over to here, I just want to point this out. With both the furnace and the Sinotype wood, I thought they were going to sell between 28 to 32,000 subscribers. Well, I was spot on. But more specifically with the Sinotype, I've made a video discussing what's happened, kind of for like archival purposes, but I do explain what happened with the problems. So basically, we've had some gaps where we didn't see a Sinotype skin being accepted. And during October, for 3 solid weeks, we didn't see a Sinotype skin being accepted at all. But, you know, Halloween, kind of in a way. All right, understandable. But we did see the return with the November Force Wipe Rust door last week, and suddenly things don't look so bleak anymore. I'd like to point out that we very likely could potentially reach and surpass the maximum, or rather the largest amount we've ever seen in regards to like a full storage collection. So what I'm saying is, in the past, the largest storage collection we've ever seen is the Neon storage set. Before we saw like the small boxes and the lockers and all that. That went all the way up to 18. Right now, we're currently at 14 accepted, but on the workshop we've seen some more, of course. So last week we saw the stone box, and this past weekend we've also seen the drop box. So 15 or 16, whichever one, doesn't matter. Yep, that's looking very nice. A lot of people have been very positive. And then in the comment section, as you'll notice over here, Odyssey has said he expects to do the electrical one next. I mean, we'll see if it's going to be next, but I'm pretty sure we'll be seeing it soon. But at some point, Facepunch will like message him and say, please stop. He hasn't done anything wrong. They just don't want to have like a storage collection go on forever. Like, how many ideas are even left? I have no idea. So, okay, understandable. It's still progressing. People are starting to realise that, yeah, it's going to expand even further and become a much bigger collection. And as we get closer and closer to January time, we are expecting the prices to improve. But we're also aware there is some sort of special DLC box organizer thing being worked on. If you've been keeping track of the commits, I also mentioned it in the special Sinotype video, but Facepunch is working on something where it might be like something that labels all the boxes, or quite literally is its own like DLC storage collection. We don't fully understand what it is. We haven't seen it yet, but they're cooking something, and it could be a big concern for the Sinotype collection. So if you're concerned, and maybe I'm going to take like a step away or something, but yeah, I'm sure you understand. We don't know what it is fully yet, but we'll find out fairly soon. And the second I see it, I'll have to make I had to make a video like reacting to it, or warn you about it. So all right, cool, understandable. So nice. This right here though, Sinotype wood is expected to be the lowest selling skin out of all the Sinotype skins. So as long as this collection remains in demand, I think that wood box is going to be pretty appealing. So the lowest selling skin out of all of these was actually the first one, Sinotype Firearms, 31,415 subscribers. This right here at the moment, 28,000, actually no, the correct amount is 28,891. 29,000 basically. Could we see another 2,000 over the course of the next like 20 hours? Probably. We'll see. But yeah, we'll see how it turns out, alright? This is looking interesting, but I'm still going to offer the same amount I have with all the other Sinotype skins, $1.70 to $2.20. It's been quite successful considering all the skins did drop off. But if we do see that DLC, we will have some concerns, okay? So, yeah. Looking very interesting. I should also point out, previous wood storages in previous storage collections, like Sinotype wood, scientific wood storage, sorry about that, about $4, graffiti wood storage about $5, $6, and then you got neon wood storage about $15, $16. All three of these sold for $2.49 as well, but now they're much higher. People do appreciate a wood box, so keep that in mind. Right then, so $1.70 to $2.20, like we've done with all the previous Sinotype skins. Cool. Abyss L96. I am concerned. It's the focused item of the month, the L96, and we will see more of them being accepted tomorrow and next week and probably next week again. I wouldn't be surprised. L96s in general, to my surprise, it's a focused item. We do have a decent amount, but anyway, they don't really hold their value. We've got one and we've got two skins in the positive, and the rest of them, no, bad. We do have like special drops, and of course we have the kick drop as well. Don't forget about that. I'm not feeling confident the L96 here is going to retain its value. Like, the Abyss collection does do quite nicely. As you can see, the majority of the skins are in the positive, and right now it's not exactly the best times for Rust skins. But it's an L96, which very likely won't hold up. It's also selling for $3, which, that's a bit too high. And with more skins to be accepted in such a short amount of time, like we've seen with all the other focused items of the month, that very likely will be dropping off. So in that regard, I'm only wanting to offer 60 cents to 80 cents. Fort AK-47, a perfectly fine looking design. The other skins though, I liked it. Like, when I saw this in game like last week, I thought it looked really pretty. I thought a lot of people would appreciate it. But I'm still very much concerned whether people, whether other people out there like actually, well, you know, want it. Will they appreciate it? Or will it just end up like most AK-47s where it just drops down in price? I kind of wouldn't be surprised. I did like it, but if everybody else doesn't really chase after it, it's going to end up like the majority of these, down by about half and maybe worse. So we'll see how that progresses, but I'm still not feeling confident. I don't think everybody else cares enough, so 60 cents to 80 cents, I'm sorry to say. Dumb Racecar Bed. So I want, I was questioning how far that might go. I do have my estimates, so back over to here, look at it there. And then, yep, Racecar Bed, 14 to 16,000 subscribers. Tomorrow, you will be reaching over 14,000. But, you know, it might just be like barely over, so okay, cool. Looking at this dumb Racecar Bed, I don't think he's dumb. I think he's awesome. I think a lot of people appreciate him as well. It's a fun, glow-in-the-dark design. It's literally a Racecar Bed, come on now. So I'll sit here and say this. Until we see Face Punch making their very own, very special, very cool-looking Racecar Bed DLC, which I kind of wouldn't be surprised they do eventually, I can't help but assume this is going to retain its value and do pretty good. Now, maybe initially it does drop off. Okay, I'll respect that. We will see more bed skins. The amount of bed skins I've seen being submitted recently is absolutely absurd. Like, a lot more compared to handmade LMGs, which is kind of odd. But anyway, that right there hasn't sold that much. We will see more bed skins, though. I think for the Racecar Bed, I'm going to probably do between $1.20 to $1.70. It is a $2.49 skin, but I could see it doing a pretty decent job retaining most of its value. So I'm curious. I want to jump on it, but I don't want to go all the way up to its rust price. So yeah, $1.20 to $1.70. Will we see another skin like that? No, I don't think so. We'll see though. Cyberbed, a perfectly fine metallic design. The Cyber collection isn't very in demand though. If you were to question, all right, is there any potential nice things to be said? Well, we are aware of a brand new high-quality metal building skin that might be in the works. Space station themed, apparently. So, if that were to be accepted, does this look like futuristic to you? Sci-fi? Kind of. I thought maybe this bed might be appreciated in the proposed brand new building skin. However, how long is that building skin going to take? Yeah, that might be a bit of a problem. Yeah, we don't have a clue. But I think it looks pretty interesting for what it is. I'm just not sure if it's actually going to retain its value. So if I'm not feeling very confident in it, and I am aware more beds are likely on the way, 70 cents to $1? Yeah, about halfway. That's fine. That's fine. I'll just offer that. Swirled Crossbow, you have a little bit of transparency, but it's not like a super helpful amount. It's an interesting artistic choice for how it's done, but still, I'm not fully convinced. So one thing I'll point out then is what's the cheapest crossbow skin right now? So let's go ahead and find that out. Let's go do that. So lowest price, pretty please. There we go. And it turns out the cheapest price right now is only $1. So it's not like terrible. Like lots of weapon skins in the past, well, and still now, they do go below $1. But this right here, I think what I'll do is I'll offer 70 cents to 90 cents. It is a $2.49 skin, but I wouldn't be surprised if it still drops off. But a fairly decent barter, I could still make a bit of profit, maybe. We'll see. 70 cents to 90 cents. Señor Tomato Large Backpack. You are interesting. You have not sold that much, but again, it was expected. Yeah, initially you weren't selling that much. I could tell you were likely going to do between 7,000 to 9,000 subscribers. And based on what I'm looking at here, yeah, basically that. Yep, perfect. All right then, if you haven't sold that much, I do not expect to see that many listings as well. But are you an in-demand collection? Because let me also point this out. I made a bit of a joke video when I showed this off in a short video. It is like a big target on your back. It's big, it's red, it's very noticeable. And I don't think a lot of people are going to greatly appreciate that. So I can see it's a bit counterproductive to have it on, but it still looks a bit goofy. The Señor Tomato collection's a bit invested into, I guess you could say. Some of them are doing all right. Not all of them, though. Let me put it this way. If we do see clothing pieces being made for Señor Tomato and it's accepted in the future, I'm pretty sure that will be spiking in price quite nicely. Would it last though? Again, still questioning it. I'm curious. I don't think there's that many sales. I don't think we'll see that many listings. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put down a barter of 90 cents to $1.30. I'm going to go slightly further or above the halfway point, but I'll see how it goes. Will I regret it? I'm not really sure. We'll see. Again, I wouldn't be surprised if they do accept like some sort of clothing for Señor Tomato in the future. Wouldn't surprise me. Okay, so that was all the abnormal skins. Let's now talk about the one regular skin. The small tea box is the only skin that will rotate. That will only become marketable when the roster rotates tomorrow. A perfectly fine looking design. It is the 6th skin to be accepted in the small props collection. It is a tea theme box, which I can't help to assume a lot of people would appreciate. Not selling that much though, which is kind of a surprise. I have mentioned before, we have had a tea box in the past, or rather a tea storage, I should say. So, yep, there you go, tea cargo. Get a good look at that. It's not showing itself for some reason. That's a bit unfortunate. I guess Steam isn't working. But yeah, right now that's selling for about $5 a piece. Huh. But then back over to here, looking at our, small tea box here. You could put that on a shelf and stick it on a wall above your like mixing table. Oh, okay. You could put your berries in there. You could put the actual tea in there. I mean, honestly, with the possibility of seeing another small prop skin being accepted tomorrow and next week and the week after that and week after that, because I should point out we have an ammo box here, or 2 options, and a sulfur box. I think this small box collection is actually going to go all the way and probably end up with, between 15 to 18 skins in total. I feel like that might be happening. So with more boxes being produced and hopefully accepted in the future, what do you reckon? What do you reckon will happen? I'm hoping that, the price holds up. I'm hoping independently people will appreciate, like a nice, cute little tea box. Is it guaranteed though? Not really. Am I going to stick with a barter? Probably. 80 cents to $1.10. Maybe $1.20. Maybe. It's up to you. If you're feeling really confident, if you're thinking, oh yeah, people are surely going to want like another tea box, go for it. I am questioning if I want to go ahead and actually buy some though. I'm still thinking about it. It hurts trying to figure out things. All right, anyway. That's cool. That's nice. What could we potentially see being accepted in tomorrow's Rust store? Well, let's talk about that right now. So I should point out, in my recent Rust Workshop skin checks, I did not see this because Stabby didn't submit it until 12 hours after the deadline. So good job, Stabby. But yes, that is a dumb race car collection continuation. Look at that. Now over to here, as I've already mentioned, we got some pretty interesting skins that have been submitted. So lots of beds. A very interesting chair skin. That might be pretty cool. Pretty cool. Don't you get it? Anyway, so that's looking pretty cool. We've got the cheese bed. Who couldn't want a cheese bed? You've also got a mouse pillow. It is perfection. So lots of interesting designs. In terms of beds, we also have a tempered bed and an all-seeing eye bed. We've got some interesting fridges. Another attempt for Neon Berries fridge. What do you reckon? So that's there. We've got an Oasis locker. We've got some pretty goofy looking furnaces along with Señor Tomato. Interesting storages. I do like this wooden door. Made by the skin creator that made that very cool looking Halloween bearskin rug, but wasn't accepted unfortunately. I reckon he should make like a bearskin rug in the theme of this. Make it like a Wendigo or something. That might be cool. Anyway, so you've got some pretty cool looking doors here as well. Collection continuations. Oh, over here, what do we have? Code red sheet metal double door that has transparency and it glows in the dark. So let's see if that potentially gets accepted. And over to here, we've got some rocks. We've got some... Oh, what's this? Another transparent aim sight revolver has appeared, and this actually has more transparency in comparison to the Heatseeker revolver. What do you reckon? Even if they accepted the regular version that doesn't have the cut aim sight, it would still sell very nicely. It would still retain its value very nicely. Revolvers are appreciated, so alright, cool. Over to here, what else do we see? Lots of interesting submachine guns and all that, but I should point out, in regards to all the handmade LMGs, we literally only have Cold Hunter and Temple. That is it. Now, of course, last week we saw some more, and the week before that we see a whole lot more, but yeah, that is the only two options that have been submitted. Oh, well. But then again, they both look perfectly fine. I wouldn't be surprised if both of these were accepted, so... Alright, cool. Maybe we could see that. And then, with the clothing and armour, lots of interesting things, but I have to point out Thunder Gold has returned, and we question, could now be the time we actually see it happen. So, Thunder Gold, Gold Streak hoodie here. Get a good look at that. And Thunder Gold, White Streak right here as well. Which one is more likely to be accepted? Which one do you prefer to be accepted? Feel free to comment below, because either way, that will complete the Thunder Gold collection if it were to be accepted, and I do believe those prices will spike demand, spike a price ever so nicely. So here's hoping. So yeah, things could be nice, could be, but what's the more realistic outcome? What do you reckon? So yeah, maybe we shouldn't get our hopes up too high. But I should also point out, with the recent submissions, the top performing skin is the Sinotype drop box. Then it's the UFO Abduction sheet metal double door, transparency in the bottom. The small sulfur box. The Swirled Python, which is kind of surprise. Really? Alright. Then we have the Farm-born garage door. Cyber fridge, Wild Hunt wooden door. Yeah, lots of interesting things. So, okay, cool. Understood. Anything else to mention? Have you been keeping an eye on their commits? Whilst lots of things have been mentioned in regards to the naval update, it's also Hack Week. So, as you'll notice over here, what? A Halloween garland being worked on now? Well, next year might be pretty interesting. But next year. So it looks like they're planning to do Halloween festive garlands. Okay, I mean, not going to say no. It looks pretty interesting. And over to here, a ball pit. Ball pit. Yeah. I don't know why, but they're doing a ball pit. Sure, all right. Not going to complain about that. That might be pretty goofy. You know what? If you can do it, if you're watching right now, if you can mod servers, can we have a whole server that's literally just filled with balls? You know, like the little ball pit balls. So you can't have full damage because it's just, you know, balls and all that. We'll see what happens there. I should also point out some sort of arcade things being worked on. Slick ball. Not sure what that is. Is that like the thing where you roll the ball and you get in a hole? I'm not sure. But they're making some sort of arcade batch of things, and I'm not sure why. So we'll see what that amounts to. Interesting. I should also point out player count looks okay. It's not perfect. It's not like matching up perfectly with October at the moment, but it's not too bad either. I'm not going to be too concerned about that. Kick drops. Kick drops start tomorrow, okay? Go to kick.facepunch.com. Should be linked in the description. Make sure you're all nice and set up. Make sure you've got your Kick account connected to your Steam account. If you do not, you will not get your drops, okay? Make sure you get that prepared for. So, yep. General drops, just remember, watch anyone streaming Rust on Kick who isn't one of these special streamers. You will get those skins for absolutely free. And then, of course, with the streamer skins, 2 hours of your time for each one. You have plenty of time. And yes, only watching streams on Kick will get you progress. While you can still watch like other streams on like Twitch, it won't interfere with the Kick. You do need to make sure at some way or some form you are watching Kick streams. That's the only way to get the progress. Okay, all good, understood. Lots of very interesting skins here. Do not miss out on the green hazmat. It's too good to miss out on. Okay. Do not be surprised if there's potential problems tomorrow either. It's their first ever time setting this up. Right, so give them like a chance, but there might still be some problems potentially. We'll see. Okay, cool. Right then, so that appears to be everything. I think we're all good. Let's just refresh just to make sure we're more up to date. We've got about 20 minutes until the actual abnormals, so let's now skip ahead, proceed to do those barders, and then after that, look at the abnormal barter support. We'll question if we actually want to jump in and make some purchases. All right, just a few seconds to go. Let's roll. What we got then? Sinotype wood. Come on. Appear to me. So this does look like it's going to be the lowest selling Sinotype skin out of all of them. Here's hoping they, keep the demand. So I might be one of the fastest people to put down a barter here. He thinks. We'll see. Right, UFO Abduction Furnace. Dumb Racecar. Back over to here. Come on, show yourselves. Show me what you got. Where are you? Come on. Oh, there you go. Yep. And oh, there you go. That's the low price buy order. That's pretty sweet. Racecar Bed. Come on. There we go. Señor Tomato. Right. Okay. What we got going over to here? That's not some. Oh, well, those buy orders aren't very high. Those are some low buy orders. Yes, indeed they are. Right, I'm going to put that down. Coming in. What else we got? Down Racecar Bed. No, not happening. Abyss L96. No. L4AK. Nope. Alright. Cyberbed, I guess. Sure, why not? That's a low price buy order, by the way. Okay, so back over to here. Hello, dumb. No, dumb Racecar still has not yet appeared. Okay, trying to figure out what I can do about buy order on. Oh, there you go. There's the film. What else we got going on over here? Yep. Still no. All right then. I guess we'll switch over to here. Second batch of barders. Away we go. Boom. Sinotype wood. I can see we've got barders going all the way up to like $2.20 once again. I'll just slot myself in with like a nice little $2 barter, but I only put down like 30. Yeah, don't want to fill up too much of my barter amount. And then UFO Abduction Furnace has appeared. I think I've already done a barter on you. Yep, I'm going to do another one. So, as you said, about $1.50. Yeah, so something like that. Yes. Alright, you know what? I think we've done a decent amount of the barters. Let's now skip ahead, see what the abnormal barter support looks like, and question, do we just want to jump in and buy some of the skins straight from the Rust store? Okay, it's been about 50 minutes. Let's go ahead and take a look at all the skins. See how much support they each have. So, over to here, looking at the Sinotype wood. It's looking perfectly fine. Considering, like, with all the other Sinotype skins, it's been basically the exact same. With all the other barters, it's basically been, all the exact same. This is going to be interesting because we've already gone through the bad times. A lot of skins have already suffered. But now, this is, like, closer and closer to, like, post-Christmas. We've almost got, like, a full, complete collection. Is it just going to be perfect? Like, is it just going to be A-okay? It's in a very interesting spot. As we mentioned, it does look like it will be the lowest selling skin. Wood storages are appreciated. To be honest with you, even I'm tempted. I think I might want to go ahead and buy a few of these, but I'll see how I feel. I do have a solid barter down, but maybe I could steal for a higher one. If you're feeling pretty confident, by all means, jump in. I won't blame you. As I said, I'm also thinking about it, but what happens when we actually finish? When we had those 3 weeks off, the prices of these Sinotype skins did drop off pretty badly. It was quite slow, but it was very notable. But if we do technically finish, let's say if we do reach all the way up to 18 skins, will people be satisfied, or will they still be concerned about that proposed boxes DLC? We'll wait and see. But for now, this does look pretty good. Okay, so I don't think we can complain too much. Now with the UFO Abduction Furnace, we just had someone in my chat say that someone in my chat just bought one already for $1.50. So that's a little bit concerning. I should also point out, $3 skin, and we've already got one listed below $3. Now, when this rotates out the Rust store tomorrow, it wouldn't surprise me if it perks itself back up again. The price improves a little bit. But give it time. Is this likely going to suffer, along with the Ghost Furnace? Because even that's starting to drop off a fair bit. I can't say I'm not surprised. It has sold a lot. Over 30,000 subscribers. It is absurd. But, I'm thinking it could work out alright if we do see the collection continuations. If it does develop into a full-fledged collection, if we do get that sheepman a door, if we do, I think that furnace will greatly appreciate it. But, as I mentioned, more transparent furnaces are being worked on. This very likely won't be so special in the future anymore. Got to keep an eye on the workshop, got to keep an eye out for what's being accepted, okay? So, I mean, we'll see. Face Punch can only accept so many furnaces, right? What about Twitch drop? Uh-oh. Yeah. Could you imagine a furnace with tons of transparency as a Twitch drop? Well, now you got it in your head now, don't you? So, okay, fair enough. we'll leave it at that. But yeah, the bar does look pretty sweet. But if you were to ask me, hey, should I buy this? I think you're probably better off with like a $1.50 barter. I wouldn't be surprised if this does drop off a fair bit. But how long will it take? If you don't want to like wait a very long time, put down a $2 barter. Try and pick this up for $1 cheaper. But I'd say probably give it a week and look at it again. I think this probably will be dropping. We'll see. But yeah, barters basically stop at like a halfway with the price. So yeah, it's not looking very reliable, that one, to consider buying. Now over to here, Racecar Bed, $2.49. Barters only going up to $1.70. Only? It's looking pretty sweet. I don't think this will drop off too badly. I think this will be fairly secure. I think this will be one of the good ones in regards to, like, most bed skins are expected to drop off pretty badly, but this very likely will be one of the few that will actually be in the positive. Now, how high will it go? Not sure. Could we get like a collection continuation? Well, we did see it as a rug, but could we see more of it? I mean, we'll see. If Face Punch ever gets around to making their very own, like, Racecar Beds as like a DLC, then, you know, it might be pretty concerning. And imagine if it's like in a DLC pack or whatever. It could happen. Don't be surprised. So looking at this, yeah, I'm going to sit there and say I'm fine with the barters I have. If you truly wanted to pick one up yourself, just put down a $1.80 barter. I'm pretty sure you'll probably be able to pick up something eventually. Yeah, it might have a bit of a rocky start over the course of the next, like, few weeks. But steering into next year, I think this actually will be working out all right with the demand it has. I don't think anything else like this will be accepted for a while in regards to bed skins, because this is incredibly goofy and people love it. So, yeah. Señor Tomato Large Backpack. So, this is looking interesting due to the sheer lack of sales. It very likely will reach over 8,000 subscribers by tomorrow. The barters, though, they basically stop at around a halfway price at $1. So, yeah, that's not looking too bad. 10 quantity at $1.06. In short, the barters only go up to halfway. This is a $2 skin. It doesn't look like it's going to retain its value. Again, quite a lot of people are fairly curious. We're not sure if this is actually going to maintain its price due to whether it's actually in demand or not. But the sheer lack of sales definitely could help it out. So keep an eye on it, all right? We'll keep an eye on it. If you happen to like Señor Tomato, offer $1.50. I wouldn't be surprised if you actually managed to pick one up. You know, pick one up for a 50-cent cheaper price. So, all right, we'll leave it at that. Then over to here. No Mercy Handmade LMG. The barters only got up to $1. Yeah, I'm not surprised by that. There will be more handmade LMGs. I fully expect it. If you offered $1, I wouldn't be surprised if you managed to pick up a few in the future. I would like to be wrong, but I'm not thinking I'm going to be wrong, okay? This did sell a lot. There will be more options appearing fairly soon. If people do not care for this, a lot of the stock will end up on the Steam market and on third-party sites, ultimately causing the price to go down, which is going to be pretty problematic. So, yeah, we don't... bit concerning. Abyss L96. In fact, let me just refresh. Here we go. Much better. All right. So, as you'll notice over to here, there's a lot of high listings, but the barters only got up to a certain point. So this is a $3 skin. The barters basically end at 90 cents. That is not looking like it's going to retain its value. No. There's no support above $1. That is dropping off. So if you were to sit there and ask, what price could I offer to try and pick this up for super cheap? Honestly, offer $1. I think you could pick that up. Now, will it ever, like, rise back up in price again in the future? It's still about 20,000 subscribers almost. I'm not sure. It's quite abundant to a point, but we'll see. Over to here, the Fort AK-47. Nice and shiny. Very nice blue gemstone. Barters stop at 74 cents. Yeah, that happened. Yeah, offer $1. You'll be able to pick that up for less than half the price still. Yeah, that's not gonna work out well. Over to here, Cyberbed. It's a $2 skin if I can recall. Barters basically into 86 cents. It doesn't look like it's going to retain its value either. Yeah, offer $1. You very likely will pick up one of these as well in the future at some point. And then over to here, Swirled Crossbow. Let's just refresh, get a better look at this. $1.50 already. Oh no, so someone's already listed theirs at $1.50. This is a $2.49 price. That is not retaining its value. Barters basically into 73 cents. No, that's not going to hold up. So, yeah, you could offer 80 cents, maybe 90 cents as well. You know, offer a little bit more compared to the highest barter there. I wouldn't be surprised if you do actually manage to pick up some of them. People in the future are very likely to just sell to the highest barter. So, honestly, only one skin's looking pretty reliable. So, a bit odd, but kind of not surprising based on the information that we know. So, alright then, fair enough. So overall, perfectly fine looking rust door. But with tomorrow's rust door rotation, Again, what will be accepted? Big question, but we've already talked about like the interesting things we've seen. So if I could now switch over to here. Oh, we did a giveaway. Don't worry about that. If you're watching me on my streams, oh, you could potentially win giveaways as well. But let me just quickly point this out. Have you seen this? Valve has just announced brand new hardware. And I think a lot of people might want that, but not everybody in the world has access to it. So what do you reckon? I understand what I'm implying. We sure do make a lot of steam wallet with our sales with Ruskins, don't we? Yeah. So, you know, I'm just going to point that out, you know. This brand new batch of hardware, the controller, the Steam machine, the brand new VR headset, you know. There's people out in the world that really do want it. And if I can just clarify, what countries in the world can currently pick this up? Let's just go ahead and find out. I do believe we have it here. Only USA, Canada, UK, Germany, France, Australia, Japan, South Korea, Taiwan, Hong Kong. There's quite a lot of countries out there that do want this brand new stuff. If only there's someone out there to help them out, just saying. Yeah, so, you know, just pointing out. And to my surprise, the Steam machine is actually pretty powerful, but it only has 8 gig of RAM, so it's still a little bit questionable. Now, I should also point out, we just noticed that we got the next major stickers for Counter-Strike. So, is that going to cause a bit of a problem in regards to the Ruskins? Hopefully not, but we'll see how it goes. But yeah, some very interesting bordered stickers. So borderless stickers are probably going to get bought out now, which has already technically happened. So okay, cool. So that is essentially everything. Keep an eye on the sales on the front page. I should point this out. We're starting to notice prices improving. Seen some Christmas skins getting bought out as well, so that's only looking even better. But yeah, keep an eye on all the skins on the front page. Check out their prices. Case in point, look at the whiteout hoodie. So obviously this dropped off a fair bit. It's currently sitting here at just under $19. Scroll. Let me just quickly go ahead and look at its overall sales. Wow. And then look at the more recent sales. Wow. It's starting to rise back up again. So we're starting to notice most skins, as of now, starting to improve. Look at your inventory, for example. Go give that a good check. So, all right. Looking pretty sweet. So maybe I'll make a video talking about that at some point in the future. We'll see. But I can point out, with the brand new drops, I have made a very special video dedicated to showcasing the brand new Kick Hazmat in comparison with a Nomad Hazmat and, of course, the Frontier Hazmat. People brought it up to me when I did the showcase of the brand new Hazmat. So I thought, you know what, okay, I could go give it a good shot. I could test them out. It's about 25 minutes, but I think a lot of people would like it, especially with what's being showcased and revealed to you. So yeah, that's it. That's it. I don't know if we're going to see an early Rust rotation tomorrow. I doubt it, but who knows. I should point this out as well. I'm going to wait over the course of this weekend to see my family. So there might be a chance we don't have a 48-hour analysis. We'll see how it goes, all right? But I definitely got videos in stock ready to be posted just in case there's a problem with that. So just giving you a little heads up. That's all. So, all right then. Remember to get yourself nice and set up for tomorrow. Remember to keep an eye out for the event that's kicking off tomorrow. The Rust kickoff event kicks off with the kick drops, okay? So I'll link that in the description as well, the Rust kickoff event. You can see all the teams, you can see who's fighting who and all that, and yeah, that's it. That's right. So thank you very much for watching me. I greatly appreciate it. Best of luck with you and your investments. Let's see what's being accepted tomorrow. I certainly hope it's something that looks very, very nice.